So here we are at RetroCon with Larry Kenney. If you don't know, he did the voice of Lion O from Thundercats.
Thundercats!
So it is a great honor for us to meet him. I grew up with Thundercats back in the 80s, so in 1985, you were my hero.
Oh,
and we brought a little something here. We got the Thundercats board game.
Let's play.
Yeah, let's go.
I get to be Lion O.
Yeah, I was wondering, we got a naked picture here of Tigra. I was wondering, in the very first episode of Thundercats Exodus, the Thundercats appear naked, and I was just thinking, in some of the later episodes, I know that Lion O goes back in time and returns to Thundera, where he meets his father, Claudus.
Yeah.
And when he goes back there, all the Thundercats have clothes on.
Yeah.
So, what is the reason that the Thundercats are naked in the first episode?
I have no idea. I have no idea,
Well,
and I had forgotten that they were naked.
There they are, right there.
I'm trying to remember Pumira naked now. I don't know if I'm
thinking of Chitara naked, I
I'm
think.
thinking of Pumira because she's sitting right next to us.
How you doing, Pumira?
Thundercat Pumira.
I believe this game is retro. This looks like it's from the 80s. Do you remember when this came out?
I've never seen it before, so I didn't know there was a game. And the thing that makes me upset about it is, back in the 80s and 70s and 90s, I did lots and lots of commercials for Milton Bradley games. And why they didn't ask me to do this one, I don't know. But I did lots of Milton Bradley games, whose names I can't. Operation. I don't know if those were Milton Bradley, but you know, all those '80s game back in the '80s. Operation and
You did the voice for the commercial?
yeah. Hungry Hippos.
So wait, you're the
things
guy
like
who
that.
said, "I'm the doctor for you."
That was me. It's the singing.
You did that?
In fact, I just put it on my Facebook page the other day. I am the doctor for you. If you want to do that, yeah.
Water on the knee, $1,000 fee.
Exactly. Very good. I did a lot of those, a lot of GI Joe. Crash Test Dummies, you know, the figures, yeah.
So actually, what are the different voice acting jobs that you've done in your career?
For about 40 years, I've been the voice of Count Chocula. And for about that long, I've been the voice of, yeah. Oh, that's Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, I've been him. Up here, I won't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yahoo! Did you bring one with cereal in it?
I think so, yeah.
You know what I used to do for years and years? People would want autograph boxes, so I would buy the cereal and dump it out and flatten the box and autograph it and mail it to them. And finally, I mentioned that to a friend of mine from General Mills, or from the advertising agency. He said, I can get you cases of the boxes flattened. You don't have to buy the cereal.
Was there any archetype you were following for Count Chocula? Like were you looking at Bela Lugosi or anything like that?
Well, no, because when I auditioned for Count Chocula, the direction was we wanted to continue to sound the same way it sounded before when Jim Dukas was doing it. There was a guy named Jim Dukas who had been doing it for many years. And then I think he retired or whatever. And they said, we want to keep it pretty much the same so people don't notice the changeover. Same with Sonny the Cocoa Puffs bird. Chuck McCann had been doing it for years, and he moved to the West Coast. It became tedious for him to go back and forth on the coast, so they auditioned, 100 actors in New York, and I happened to get that one. But so I didn't have to come up with new voices, just recreate the old one. Yeah.
Lion O, Lord of the Thundercats.
I was always curious, actually, how did you actually get the role of Lion O?
Same way you get the job in any area of voice acting, you audition for it. My agent called me one day and he said, on Monday at 2 o'clock you'll go to such and such an advertising agency and you'll audition for this new animated series called Thundercats. And then when you get there, they show you all the pictures of the characters. They ask you which ones you'd like to read for.
Did you read for any other characters?
I read for Jackalman, which I also got. I became Jackalman. And then I don't recall...
Could you give us a little of the Jackalman laugh?
Sure.
We must get the Thundercats, yes?
That is amazing.
Were they looking for any kind of specific voice, or was it just something they knew it when they heard it?
For Lion O?
Yeah,
For Lion O, they wanted some. Well, if you think about it, the Thundercats, the main Thundercats, Lion O, Tigra, Chitara, Panthro. Who am I leaving out?
Snarf,
yeah.
Wily Cat,
Thank you.
Bengali, Lynxo.
Well,
those
yeah,
came later.
yeah. But the main ones were actually half cat, half people. So they didn't want us to sound cartoony. They wanted us to sound like people who happen to be half cat. So Lion-O's voice is basically my voice. I mean, you can hear Lion-O in my voice.
I heard a little bit of it as you were speaking.
Yeah, it's just a little more dramatic.
Yeah.
Where I might sit here and say to you, sword of omens, come to my hand. On TV, it's sword of omens, come to my hand. I command it.
Sword of omens, come to my hand.
Another question I have you actually heard the Thundercats outtakes? It sounds like you guys had a lot of fun when you were recording the show. Do you know about those?
Oh, of course, they're all over the internet. Yeah.
Well,
anytime you're recording, you have a group of actors in a studio recording, you're going to have outtakes. Things that are said between takes, or when somebody screws up. I mean, we're all adults, and you're going to hear that. The thing is, back when we were doing the show in the mid-'80s, there was no internet.
Yeah.
And so the only people who would hear those outtakes back then were us. And we used to joke about the recording engineers. We used to say, somebody would say something like, what the F is a semiflange?
Yeah.
One of us would say, that'll be on the engineer's Christmas party reel. Meaning that I'm sure every recording engineer who recorded shows like that would have a party, and he would say, you guys want to hear some outtakes from Thundercats?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, several years ago, I look on the internet, and here's me saying all kinds of horrible things. But
so what exactly is a samoflange? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. It actually is a real thing. It's a mechanical thing that goes into an engine, but I can't tell you what it does.
It is really?
Yeah, I looked it up. Yeah.
Question. Since we have the board game sitting right there, since there's so many Thundercats products that come out, like all kinds of stuff, and since you said you weren't really aware of that one because they just happened, was there ever a Thundercats product that came out that you looked at and was like, what is this? Like just something really strange?
Something strange. I remember things I've been surprised at, like there were sneakers with Thundercats on them.
I actually had those.
Did you?
Yeah.
The only thing that comes to my mind is I was at one of these Comic-Cons and I saw these little kitchen magnets. And one of them said, Cocoa Puffs magnet. But it had, inside the plastic was Snarf. So it was it was a mistake.
Totally random trivia, but I have like a lot of issues in my hand because I'm always like sitting at a computer all the time. Yeah, and when I wear a lot of I wear a lot of wristbands sometimes, which sometimes help. I'm always wearing a Thundercats wristband, and only when I wear the Thundercats one, my symptoms go away. So somehow.
You hear that, folks?
Yeah.
Thundercats. Ho!
The new Thundercats series. I really like the show a lot. I love the original show, and I actually really like the new show a lot. I know that you did Claudius on it, Claudius.
Claudius, yeah.
What is the deal with the show right now? Do you have any idea? Is there going to be a season 2?
I don't know any more than you do. I really don't.
Okay.
I talk to people at Warner Brothers, and they don't actually know.
Nobody knows right now. It's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I did, I couldn't tell you anyway.
Yeah.
But I am honestly telling you, I don't know.
I believe
I don't
you.
know anything. I hope it keeps going because
Either
it's.
way, it's not going away.
No,
It'll always
the
live
legacy
on.
will always be here. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's amazing to meet the man who did the voice of Lion-O, Count Chocula, and all these other great voices that you've done in your career.
Well,
I was just
thank you.
wondering, just to end the interview, if you could give us a Thundercats ho.
Certainly. Thunder, 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 Thundercats. Ho!